Open your fridge. That cold light. It falls on your face. Normal. You do this without thinking twice. But this humming box is young. That soft hum means something huge. Younger than you might ever guess. Your great-grandparents had none at all. So how did they keep food? For centuries, every meal was survival. Quick favor before we continue exploring. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Every meal raced against spoiling food. Lose that race, you could die? The tricks people invented were genius. Genius, and completely, wonderfully insane. One man got rich shipping ice. Frozen lake water, sailed to India. So how did you stay safe? Without 1 single gram of cold. Picture a crowded medieval market square. Meat rotting fast in warm sun. Fish spoiling within just a day. Bread turning moldy in the pantry. A cellar rat scurried past unnoticed. Even fruit browned and softened quickly. Even the well-off weren't truly safe. Nobody understood exactly why this happened. Rot felt like a curse, unexplained. And bad food really could kill. So what was actually going on? Tiny microbes were feasting on food. Invisible, unstoppable, and completely unexplained then. No microscope existed to reveal them. Spoiling seemed random, cruel, and mysterious. Generations of cooks just guessed blindly. So people needed a real solution. The answer: take away the water. Microbes cannot survive without moisture nearby. Enter salt, humanity's very first weapon. Salt pulls water from meat directly. This trick is called simple osmosis. It drains water from meat and bacteria. A salted ham lasts many months. Coastal villages built entire salt pans. Workers raked mountains of white salt. Salt became more valuable than gold. Whole trade routes formed just for salt. Roman soldiers were even paid in it. That word became our modern salary. But salt wasn't the only method. In Norway, fishermen used only wind. Cod hung on tall wooden racks. Weeks of Arctic wind, zero salt. The cold, dry air did the work. This stockfish could last for years. Vikings carried it on long voyages. Light, tough, and endlessly nourishing food. It fed entire crews for months. Norwegian stockfish still sells worldwide today. The sun and wind did everything. But some cultures preferred smoke instead. A small hut, filled with smoke. Smoke dries meat and coats it. It layers on natural preserving compounds. Fish and sausages hung for months. The smoke tinder fed the fire carefully. Smoked flavor became prized far beyond survival. Different woods gave different smoky flavors. Villages traded smoked goods for miles. Salt, sun, and smoke all worked. But one trick worked completely differently. Sometimes you let good rot win. Certain microbes make a helpful acid. That acid stops the dangerous ones. Cabbage transforms slowly into tangy sauerkraut. Vegetables become spicy, fiery red kimchi. Milk transforms into tangy, thick yogurt. Even bread rose through wild fermentation. These cultures were passed down for generations. Fermented drinks kept safely for voyages. Fermentation even made water safer to drink. All safe, sour, and wonderfully alive. Fresh milk turns sour within hours. But cheese can last for years. Curdled milk gets pressed into wheels. Then aged slowly in cool cellars. Some wheels age for many years. A wax rind sealed in the flavor. One of history's smartest food inventions. A hard disk replacing a liquid. Every region grew its own style. But an even sweeter trick existed. Honey, remarkably, never spoils at all. Too little water, too much acid. Archaeologists found honey inside Egyptian tombs. 3,000 years old, still edible. Sugar preserved fruit in thick jam. Every household kept a shelf of jars. Boiled fruit sealed tight in jars. Or seal meat under solid fat. No air, no microbes, no rot. Confit meat could last through winter. Sweet, fatty, sealed, all clever. Now here's where things get wild. What if you could just freeze? Even ancient Persia stored winter ice, packed deep beneath straw and earth. They even built ice in deserts. Meet the Persian Yakshal ice dome. A giant clay dome, scorching heat. Tall wind towers pulled in cool air. At night, heat radiated away fast, and real ice quietly began forming. In the desert, with zero electricity, the ice moved down into storage, cool enough to last through summer. Even kings demanded chilled summer drinks. Ice became a symbol of pure luxury. But one man dreamed even bigger. Meet Frederic Tudor, a Boston dreamer. In 1806, he had a plan. Sell frozen lake water to the tropics. Everyone around him called it insane. His own brother thought him foolish. Tudor risked nearly everything on this venture. He cut ice blocks from lakes, packed tightly in insulating with sawdust, then loaded it onto tall ships. Months at sea, ice still solid. Half the cargo still reached shore frozen. The ship reached the warm Caribbean. Locals had simply never seen ice. They sold ice like pure magic. Skeptics quickly became his biggest customers. Then Tudor sailed even further east, all the way to distant Calcutta. Crowds gathered, amazed and utterly bewildered. Merchants paid handsomely for the novelty. Ice houses sprang up across the world. Frederic Tudor became famously rich. The Ice King had truly arrived. Meanwhile, in France, a different problem. Napoleon's army needed food that traveled. So he offered a huge prize. Whoever could preserve food would win. Many tried and failed for years. A baker took on the challenge. Nicholas Appert had a curious idea. Cook food sealed inside glass jars. Seal it tight, then boil it. Remarkably, the food inside stayed fresh. He entered his method and won. Napoleon himself praised the clever baker. But Appert had no idea why. It worked, the reason stayed hidden. Decades passed before anyone truly understood. Appert's jars quietly changed how armies traveled. Enter Louis Pasteur, decades later still. He peered closely through his microscope. Tiny microbes, wriggling, finally made visible. Heat, he realized, simply kills microbes. Appert's sealed jars had killed them. Finally, the century-old mystery was solved. His discovery reshaped food safety forever. Pasteurization still carries his name today. One more genius leap still waited. Meet Clarence Birdseye, up in Labrador. He watched Inuit fishermen work skillfully. Fish froze almost instantly in cold. Later, that fish tasted remarkably fresh. He brought that lesson back home eagerly. Slow freezing ruined texture. Fast froze perfectly. Birdseye invented rapid flash freezing machines soon. Modern frozen food was quietly born. Frozen peas soon reached kitchens everywhere. So many different tricks, one enemy. Salt pulling water from meat everywhere. Sun and smoke drying it slowly. Good bacteria crowding out the dangerous. Honey and sugar, simply too inhospitable. Ice and sawdust, cheating the seasons. Sealed jars, boiled hot and safe. Flash frozen fish, learned from Labrador. Every trick, fighting one invisible enemy. So open that fridge door again. That cold light hits your face. It's not just cold air, though. It's the legacy of ancient salt. Of smoke, sourness, honey, and sawdust. Of Appert's jars and Pasteur's answers. Of Tudor's ships and Birdseye's freezer. Thousands of years compressed into one hum. Every time you open that door, you win a race without noticing. A race your ancestors fought daily. Now that race ends in an instant. Thanks to salt, smoke, and ice.